This program is sponsored by Newcastle County Government.
Welcome to the Chef Dana Show. Today I have a special guest for you guys. I mean, a sweet treat. This guy, he's been all over television. He's the head pastry chef for the Hershey Hotel, and he's going to show you some of these chocolate treats he has in store for us today. Van Earl, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate that, Dana. Thanks.
Anytime.
Honored to be here.
I'm such a fan.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm a fan of yours as well.
Oh, thank you. So what do we have going on today?
Well, today I'm going to be making one of our signature desserts in one of our flagship restaurants called Circular Restaurant at the Hotel Hershey. And the dessert we're going to be making today is called the chocolate palette. Everything on this plate is all chocolate. Different types of textures and feels and looks, all chocolate.
Well, you had me at chocolate, my friend. My house has been filled with Hershey ever since I was a little kid. So. Well, I can't wait to see what you pull together.
Okay.
What's our first step?
Well, the first step I want to make the mousse that goes inside of the main component of the chocolate bomb that we're going to be making. So first we're going to start making the powder bomb, which is made with a little bit of egg yolks.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to put that here in the bowl. A little bit of sugar. Then I'm going to take these two components and take them over here onto my double boiler and whisk these up to get a nice and hot. So you just basically want to cook your eggs and sugar a little bit to make sure all the sugar dissolves.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, what exactly is a patted bomb?
Patted bomb is basically an egg and sugar mixture that you put together.
Okay.
And you whip it to 3 times its volume till it reaches volume.
Gotcha.
And this is the main base of the chocolate mousse.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we gotta turn this up a little bit.
Oh, look, we got this little fancy stove.
Oh, okay. Technology.
Electric. You just touch it and the thing starts working.
Can you speak to it? Turn up. Can you do that?
Look, that's the next model.
Oh, okay. But once we get this all nice and hot and the sugar dissolves,
okay,
then I'm going to put it on that mixer there and whip it to 3 times its volume. But
okay, so basically you get the mixture warm, put it here 3 times the volume. Okay,
yeah.
I got you. Almost like using egg whites in
exactly, making a meringue. Yes, definitely. That's exactly right.
Okay, so at the Hotel Hershey, you guys are busy. I mean, you guys have what, 5 different restaurants?
Yes, we have our Italian restaurant, which is Trevi 5. We have our flagship restaurant, which I'm doing some stuff now from that restaurant, which is Circular. We have our farm to table restaurant, which is Harvest. We have an Iberian Lounge, which is more of a light fare type full service bar, also serving some of our signature chocolate cocktails. And we also have Chef's Market, which we have more of a to-go cafe, all-day cafe that people can come in upon check-in and check out to get some of our sweet treats.
Gotcha. And I saw you guys got some beautiful treats here, man.
Thank you. Everything you see there we make in-house.
The
sea salt caramels, which is also a signature in Circular as well too. Yeah.
Baby, yes. Yeah. I mean, homemade granola.
Yeah.
Coconut macaroons, popcorn.
A little bit of everything from homemade granola to caramel popcorn, hot cocoa bombs that we do, and also for breakfast in Circular, brownies and s'more, a little bit of everything. Everything all chocolate inspired.
So when the guest comes to the Hotel Hershey, there's something that can tickle their fancy.
Oh, of course. You can never leave unhappy. Always happy when you come in, definitely. Just getting this all nice and hot.
Okay, beautiful. So after the patted bomb, what's going to happen next?
Well, once you make the powder bomb, then I'm going to make a ganache with the chocolate, with the Hershey's chocolate. You make a ganache with chocolate and heavy cream, 1-to-1 ratio. And that's also one of the components for the chocolate mousse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I noticed that we have some other desserts here. Is that one from Trevi 5?
Absolutely. The first one here is what we have in it, which is our Italian restaurant. This is called the Italian Rainbow Cake. It represents the Italian flag. And what it is more at the bottom you see here is a pistachio frangipane cake. In the middle of that one's more of an almond paste, like an almond flavored cake. And on top of that, which is the red one, which is more of a raspberry flavored almond cake. And it's all made with almonds. It's like a frangipane, and on top is a chocolate ganache. Finish off with some candy almonds with a little bit of a chocolate stick decor.
That's amazing.
It's delicious too.
Amazing. It looks good.
Very, very good.
I'm fighting like not eating it right now.
It's tempting, very tempting. And that's one of our biggest sellers in the Italian restaurant, the Trevi 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is almost ready. So now we can put this over in the mixer here.
Put that in the mixer.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I learned a long time ago, make sure your mixer is turned off before you plug it in.
All the way off,
Yeah.
especially if you got flour and stuff in there. You don't want nothing to happen all over the
Yeah.
place, you know?
Learn that lesson the hard way as a young patient.
Well, you live and learn in the kitchen. You make a lot of mistakes. You live and learn.
A lot of people asked me that too earlier, like, how do you get so good? I messed up a lot.
That's right. Practice makes perfect.
All right. Now, what speed do you want me to take it to? You want me
You
to
can
take it
go to high. Yeah, go
All
high
right.
is good. Yeah. Now, while that's mixing, I also now here have my melted chocolate on top of
Okay.
my double boiler. I have some cream here. Can you heat that up for me, Dana, please?
I would love to. Okay, just warm this cream
Yeah, just
up.
warm it up, please. You can do that in the microwave for me.
Pop that in here.
So the reason why I got the cream in there is I'm gonna make a ganache with the cream and the chocolate. But the reason why I'm heating that up, I also have a little bit of gelatin here to help stabilize the mousse, so that when we get ready to plate it up, it won't be all too, runny. It helps to keep
Gotcha.
its shape, and that's what I'm using the gelatin here.
Very cool. All right, guys, so you just learned a new trick. A little gelatin in your chocolate mousse helps stabilize it, firms it up.
Yeah, keeps its shape. See how that's coming to 3 times? There you go.
I was about to say, like, it turns from that darker yellow to
True.
a
More of
brighter.
like a pale yellow. And it's light and it's fluffy. That also gives you the texture of your chocolate mousse that you really want.
So when they're whipping egg yolks, when they see it go to a pale yellow, you know you're incorporating that air.
You know you're doing a good job, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna test the cream here.
That hot enough, really hot to melt the gelatin?
A little bit volume.
Okay. That's one thing about making pastries and desserts. You gotta have patience.
Yeah.
It's different from the culinary world. You can just go in and make stuff, but in the pastry side, it's like a science.
You
gotta
just can't wing it?
no. And if you in the beginning you mess up something, you gotta start all over from the beginning, start over from scratch. In cooking, you may create something totally different. You just keep it moving.
That was the hardest lesson that I had to learn coming from the savory side, moving into pastry. There was lots of things I couldn't just.
But that's the best of both worlds now. You got savory and pastry combined together, which is
Yeah.
awesome. So that's a beautiful talent to have.
You know what I learned, and the cool part was anything I smelled that I thought was traditionally savory. If I smelled something sweet in it, I could use it in a pastry.
There you
It would
go.
work.
Anything is possible. Anything. You can use spices in chocolate. You can use different type of liqueurs. Anything that's in savory side can always come into this on the side of pastry, which is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful marriage. That's nice and oh yeah. You got that super duper microwave. All right.
Now, what are some of your favorite spices to put into chocolate?
I like cardamom.
Okay.
Saffron is good. Chili powder is good. Chipotle, spice. A little bit of everything. It's all based on what you want and what you're trying to achieve as far as your flavor profiles.
Okay.
Now I'm going to add my gelatin here to dilute that, to melt it a little bit before I add it to my So with the heat of that heavy cream, I was able to melt my gelatin, which was good. Okay. Now that that's all melted, I'm going to cut this down a little bit.
Okay.
Take this off here.
All right.
I'm going to pour this over in here.
Look how smooth that is.
Yeah,
Y'all
now-
let the gelatin go in, and now it's just liquid.
Now it's going to become more of a ganache once you mix that hot cream and milk together.
Now I saw there today you were using the sheet gelatin. Can they use powdered gelatin if
Yeah.
they can't find it?
You can use, so you just have to do a different ratio, find a different ratio from
Okay.
from your ingredients. But you can use either powder or gelatin, or the gelatin you have to bloom with water. Either one will work.
Either one will work. Okay.
Absolutely.
So everybody, if you can't find the sheep gelatin, go ahead and get the powdered gelatin.
You just have to convert your recipe. That's all.
Convert the recipe.
And there's stuff on Google. That you,
I was
yeah,
about
go to
to say,
Google.
go
That's my
Google.
go-to place. Go to Google. Google will tell you everything.
Go to Google. You can find the ratio.
You got that right. Yep. Now that the powder bomb is ready,
The powder bomb's ready?
that goes into here next, which is a
Okay.
beautiful thing. So we're gonna try to take this ganache and fold it into here.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so you want me to pass you this bowl?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's the good stuff there. All right.
There
Thank you
you
so
go,
much.
sir.
Okay. What I'm gonna
So-
do is take a little bit of this
Chocolate ganache
into the powder bomb.
into the powder bomb.
First, I'm gonna try to do it in thirds.
Okay, now why are you doing it in thirds?
It just, I don't want it to have a different shock. I want to take my time and make sure it's emulsified, make sure it's completely mixed.
Okay.
Get it going first. Then you can do the second one.
I see. So you kind of got it almost marbled in there.
Yeah, you
Real
want to make sure
good.
you have a smooth consistency because you want your mousse to be completely smooth. You don't want to have different types of, the eggs and the cream is not all mixed together. You want to make sure it's completely smooth.
So as they're making their mousses, right? 'Cause I know somebody's gonna watch this and they're gonna be like, oh, I want to make a mousse too. What are some of the things they might need to watch out for when they're making
The temperature, the different type of chocolate that you're using. It's a lot of factors. You will really know that when you start to make it.
Okay.
You can learn from actually doing it, but
Got it.
all sorts of things could happen.
So now speaking of chocolate, I noticed you guys have like a chocolate experiences coming, don't you?
Oh, we have this new thing called Chocolate Town, which is it just opened up. We have two spots, two new dessert places that just opened up, which is called the Sweetery.
You said Chocolate Town?
Chocolate Town. It's its own entity,
I'm never gonna get-
upside from Hershey Park. It's right
I'm
within
never gonna
Hershey
get my
Park.
wife back.
It's amazing.
I'm to go find her Chocolate Town.
Oh, it's a great place. And we got a big thing, which is a chocolatier, which opens up Memorial Day weekend. And that's going to be a huge 300-some seat restaurant, indoor and outdoor. It's going to be huge. It's amazing.
So you have, wow, Hershey's doing it big. So you have a whole separate Chocolate Town.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be the chocolatier.
We're inside of that chocolate town, right? Mhm.
Inside the Chocolate Town.
We have the Sweetery, which is a whole new patisserie
Wow.
cafe. And then we have Milton Hershey's ice cream parlor. 15 to 30 different types of gelatos and ice creams, homemade on the premises.
Oh, you guys going to be busy.
Yeah. Now from here, after the powder bomb has been done with the chocolate ganache, you're gonna fold in some soft whipped cream that we already have
Ooh,
whipped.
let me grab
Yeah,
that.
you gotta pass me that whipped cream that we whipped earlier.
Yeah, I saw that.
And one thing about making the mousse, you don't wanna make sure your whipped cream is at a soft peak because it's more of a shock because you have that gelatin and you don't want it to tighten it up too quickly. So I'm gonna
Okay.
fold this also in thirds as well too.
So if they were to mess up and they tried to throw all this in at once, they would basically shock their mousse mixture.
Too much,
fast.
yeah.
Okay. See that pastry? It's definitely a finesse.
And there's different tricks that you can use or do to try to fix it. You can maybe add just plain pourable cold heavy cream, that may work, or
Oh, I see.
just toss it out and do it again.
Just toss it out through it again.
And it's happened a few times with me. You live and learn.
Yeah.
See how the fullness of that comes?
Mm-hmm.
I want to try to get as much as this in here before I don't want to deflate too much of it.
Gotcha.
Throw my last
So-
bit in there.
And you just said the word deflate. So if you stir it too much, are you saying you'll knock the volume out of it?
Exactly.
Okay.
You want to do more of a folding method when you're doing it.
Gotcha. That's why you were going down and under and down
Yep.
and under. I
Down
see.
and over, down and over. Yeah. It's all about technique when it comes to pastries.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, do you all regularly have like interns at the Hotel Hershey?
Oh yeah,
Students that
definitely.
come
Yes,
and love
that's
to learn?
that's one of the biggest things for Milton Hershey. That was one of his core values, and one of the missions that he was based on is giving back to the youth. So we definitely do that with our culinary. As far as in my department in culinary, we have a lot of the kids, as far as the culinary schools, that come and work with us, as far as the chefs, learning their skills, honing their skills in practice. So it's a very good tool to have and good base to do something like that.
Awesome. Awesome. So I have to ask, like, with us going through the pandemic, how has Hershey been impacted, and how have they adapted to it?
It's affected us in a lot of ways. I mean, we were so used to doing things before the pandemic, and now it's a 360. It's a whole different world. And you know, we have a lot of staff members that were so used to doing things that have been there for many, many years. And it was a culture shock, an adjustment to do something like that. But for the most part, we're doing really good.
Okay.
Everyone is getting on board and having to adapt to the change, because it's something that we have to get used to and we have to do based on what's going on in the world today.
Right. So some of these goodies that we're making today, can they get those to go?
Oh, well, not this particular, the stuff, the plated dessert, you have to actually come into the restaurant and dine in to have that. But the stuff you see here in the basket, you can definitely come into our all-day cafe, which is called Chef Market, and pick up some of the...
And get those, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that this mousse is made, we can actually fill the main component.
Okay.
Okay?
So what's next?
The next is to fill this chocolate bomb of this main dessert. And what I have here, I have made 2 half shells of chocolate, tempered chocolate. I'm going to put them together, okay?
Now, what's tempering?
Tempering is heating and cooling chocolate to stabilize the cocoa butter, so you work with it to make candies, confections, making chocolate showpieces or decors.
Gotcha.
That's basically what it is. Okay, so I'm going to heat this up a little bit. And what I'm going to do is take 2 of these halves.
They look beautiful.
Thank you.
So the tempering, that's what helps keep that shine.
The shine, yeah, the shape, yeah. And if you don't temper, you know, sometimes you do chocolate, you have that whitish type. That's called
like
blooming.
ashy.
That's because it wasn't properly tempered.
Gotcha.
That's the cocoa butter releasing from the chocolate. So that lets you know that you did a very bad job.
Gotcha.
But
you know, our people, we call that ashy, right?
Right.
We need a little lotion on that.
There you go.
Gotcha. But yeah, they look beautiful.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. And you put these 2 halves together. And what I did was I just wanted to heat up on a hot surface to melt the chocolate that's already tempered, to put the 2 halves together.
That looks perfect.
Yeah. Got to work with it a little bit. And then once you get that done, you have something that's like this. It's already together.
So how'd you put the hole in there?
What I did was the same component. What I did was I took the chocolate and just put it down here with the heat, and I kept going because it's a hollow surface, a hollow vessel. And as I do that, the chocolate melts and it makes this little hole.
I see it starting to form.
See?
Gotcha.
And you can keep going and make it as big as you want.
Depending upon what you want to put.
There you go. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
There you go. Now from here, I'm going to fill the ball with the chocolate mousse that we just made. Okay, so now inside of this ball we have, we have chocolate mousse, we have a layer of rum gelée, and we have an almond cake that goes underneath it to close it all up.
Okay.
Okay. So we have a pastry bag here to use. I'm going to fill the pastry bag with some chocolate mousse.
They say one of our favorite tools in the pastry.
Oh God, yes, you've got to have a pastry bag.
And we go through them like water.
That's why we got the disposable ones. We go through so many of them.
Yeah.
Cut the tip off a little bit. Uh-oh, these scissors ain't working. Okay, there we go. All right. So what I'm going to do is take my ball that I just made with the 2 halves of chocolate. I'm going to fill it up halfway. And then the rum gelée, I got it in the freezer. If you can get that for me, Dana, that would be beautiful.
Rum gelée.
And that rum gelée consists of
you know, I was about to ask. I'm like, what is rum
dark Jamaican rum, brown sugar, and the same ingredient as the chocolate mousse, a little bit of gelatin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
if you can hold that for me.
I sure can.
Before I get this little rum gelée. I have a little bit of rum gelée here.
So say it again. What's in the rum gelée? You have...
It's dark Jamaican rum. Brown sugar. Rum itself and gelatin stabilizer.
Okay.
Then I'm going to fill a little bit more of this chocolate mousse inside. Okay. And then I'm going to cap it off with a little bit of a almond biscuit. And this almond biscuit consists of, it's like a financier, it's an almond French cake because it's made with brown butter.
Okay.
And the main component is brown butter and almond flour.
Brown butter.
With also chocolate chips. And that goes right on top.
Nice.
There you go. And that's your chocolate bomb.
And it'll sit just like,
Yeah.
so it'll even help stabilize
Yeah.
it, keep it flat,
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope.
Now you want to see how this is plated up?
I would love to see how this is plated up.
Okay. Let's get all these dirty dishes and stuff out of the way, then we can. And this is the plate that we use in Circular Restaurant when you come in for dinner. This is the plate you'll be getting. So basically what I have here is the like a cloud-shaped plate. Okay? All right, so I'm gonna have a little bit of cocoa crumble. This is made with cocoa powder, almond flour, a little bit of flour and sugar. And this is a little bit of the dust I'm gonna put on the plate. Okay, like that. Then I'm gonna take the chocolate bomb that I just made and put that right in the center.
Wow.
Isn't that nice?
That's gorgeous.
And inside of that bomb, we have the chocolate mousse, we have the rum gelée, and we have an almond biscuit inside of there.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that nice? Very, very nice. And then from there, we're going to put a little bit of little garnish on top, which is these milk and white chocolate croissants. And they're made with a little bit like cereal treats, like a little rice cereal inside
like
of
a
it.
Rice Krispie?
Yeah, like a Rice Krispie.
Okay.
It's covered with chocolate.
I gotta keep my kids away from those.
Put these on the side.
I know what will happen. My youngest will try to put them in some milk and eat them like cereal.
They are good though, very good. And the main component, the main focal point, which gives this plate a really good performance, is this chocolate piece that I made. And this is also made with chocolate, tempered chocolate as well.
So you tempered the chocolate. So explain to everybody.
So basically what you
how
do
you
is,
get that curl?
what I do is I have like a plastic acetate. It's similar to a piping bag material. I laid it down on my marble table.
Okay.
I took my tempered chocolate, I spread it, and I took a knife and made like little diamond cuts from top of the acetate to the bottom of it.
Sure.
I made little diamond shapes. And then I took like a tube, like a cardboard tube, and I rolled it up, and then let it set to contract to make its form. And then I unraveled it, and then there you go.
That's pretty slick.
So that's amazing. But you can do pretty much anything with chocolate. It's amazing what you can do.
So you lay you spread out the tempered chocolate
Yep.
on the acetate. You cut these beautiful diamonds into it.
Yeah.
You let it sit a little bit.
Just a little bit, not too maybe about a minute or so until it starts to harden a little bit.
Okay.
And then you take this tube, like inside of a saran wrap, like a dowel type thing, and then I wrap that whole acetate sheet around that dowel, and then let it set for a little bit, maybe 5 to 10 minutes until it contracts, till it sets up hard, and then I unravel it, take the dowel out, and then you have your shape.
And then you're left with your shape. That is gorgeous.
Yeah, very nice, isn't it?
Look at that. That
Yeah.
is gorgeous.
Then on top of this, along with this, comes an ice cream that we make, which is an 80% dark chocolate ice cream, and I have that also in the freezer. And that chocolate is also mixed with a little bit of crushed almonds and rice cereal and feuilletine. It's in that far left. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. That right there is dynamite.
So these are like little ice cream bonbons.
Yeah. But it's made with a black cocoa, not the traditional cocoa.
I see. Look how dark it is.
It's very dark, yeah. It's made with a black cocoa.
Okay.
And then that goes right on top here, next to it.
Wow. Wow.
And there you have it.
Look at that, Sean.
I call that the chocolate palette.
The chocolate
Like a painter's palette, this is more of a chocolate palette. You have different forms and different shapes and different textures and different feels. You have cold and to lukewarm. It's nice.
That's beautiful. So how did you get started in pastry? I mean, the techniques you're doing here today are well beyond elementary. Like, how did you get into pastry?
I kind of fell into it. I went to school. I'm a graduate of culinary school, but I went to school for savory like you did. But many years ago in my profession, I came across one chef that really wanted me to be on his team because he was, migrating to different places and taking people with him to work on his team. And one position that he needed was a pastry chef, pastry cook. And I was like, oh man, okay, I would love to come with you, but I know nothing about pastry. That's not my forte. I don't want to do that. He says, Van, come with me. Let's do it. I can train you under the corporate pastry chef where I'm going to be working at, and they can hone you and train you. I was like, okay. It was a leap of faith that I did this. It was a big jump because it was two different worlds. And then from there, the rest is history.
So, wow.
That's how I got into pastry.
I'm looking at the techniques, I'm
Yeah.
like, wow. So, now being at Hotel Hershey, what is it that you love about Hotel Hershey?
I love the people. It's more of a family unit. I love what we have to offer. I just love the whole atmosphere, working with a collective and creative team of people. It's like more of a family unit there, and I love that.
Okay. Okay. So, being because you're so multifaceted in your skill set. I mean, you have chocolate here. I've seen you do sugar. I know you do amazing cakes.
That's my forte, though, the wedding cakes.
That's your forte?
I love wedding cakes. I love cakes. Cakes, period. Anything with cake, I love doing.
So I can only imagine that being at Hotel Hershey, you kind of get to use all your skills.
Every bit of it.
That's amazing.
Every day. Every day is like coming to work and having fun with playing at work, and you get paid for it. Every day is totally different from the next. You know?
And you get paid for it.
Yes, I come in, I work long hours, which is part of the job, but that's okay. But in the end, I feel satisfied and happy with what I've done, because you put happy, make people happy, creating memories, and that's a beautiful thing to do.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, tell me about the other dessert we have here. I know we talked about the one there, circular.
This is for circular,
This
and then
one is
that's Trevi 5,
Five.
which is our Italian restaurant, and this one here is from our Harvest restaurant, which is from Farm to Table.
So y'all have an actual farm to table concept.
Local ingredients that we use, yeah.
Okay. What is this dessert?
This is called a stuffed brownie.
A stuffed brownie.
Yeah, brownie stuffed with a homemade marshmallow, finished off with a milk chocolate homemade fudge, finished off with a smoked graham cracker crumb on top, and then on top of that, we have a homemade Rocky Road ice cream that we got to put on top.
Wait a minute, hold on. Is that what I was grabbing that in the freezer?
Yeah. That's the best part. Homemade Rocky Road with the flavor of toasted marshmallows that we make at the Hotel Hershey.
They might not get this. Look, I'm gonna let you peek at it. That's it. No, okay. Go ahead. We can share it with them. Y'all get one scoop though. That's it.
Get your nice little red scoop of Rocky Road that goes right on top
And
there.
you serve it right on top.
Yeah, there you go.
And so, will this come warm? I see.
It'll come warm, yes. It'll come like slightly warm, because you want to make sure you melt the marshmallows and stuff
And
on
that
there.
is like so in right now. Like the warm desserts in the skillet. But it's such a homey feel.
Yep.
And it just takes you back to those moments when, and I believe this is where I fell in love with food, it was at the table with grandma.
Yeah.
So anytime you can bring them back.
That's right.
Bring
And
them back
something so
home.
simple, but it has a big impact, a big wow factor,
Yeah.
which is good. Form and flavor. That's been my motto. Form and flavor.
I love it.
Creating a performance before your eyes, because a lot of the people don't get to see who we are as far as chefs. All they get to see is the work of art. So I call this as my performance. So when they see this, I can get an idea who the chef is, or what he's about, and what his talents are.
I love it. I love it. Well, it has been my pleasure.
Oh, it's my
have
pleasure to be
you
here. Thank you.
On today. I mean, I learned a lot just in this segment. I mean, from how to do mousses, what's a pâté bon, what's a financier, what's a gelée. I've learned that I want to eat it all, I'll tell you that. But it's been my pleasure. This is Van Earl.
Thank you.
Head Pastry Chef for the Hotel Hershey. They have tons going on up there. Make sure to check them out, especially Chocolate Town. I know that's where I'm at.
You definitely got to come, definitely.
And spend a weekend.
If anyone looking for any places to work, career change, we're definitely hiring. So definitely come out and check us out.
And if you're training,
we can use you.
If you're training with this guy, you already see.
We can definitely use the help.
It's going to be amazing.
Thanks again for having me, Chef
Thank
Dana. I
you,
really
man.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
We will see you guys next time on the Chef Dana Cooking Show right here on DETV.